Reincarnation Entertainment. So let's bring this guy up from the UK. Hi.
Hello, Armin. Hi, how are you?
Hi. Good. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, no, I'm good. And hi, Kelly, as well. So there's three things I wanted to talk about, if I have the time. So, Armin, you already know about the omniscience logical contradiction. I was wondering, Kelly, do you know about it? Do you know you can disprove Islam and Christianity with certainty if they say God has foreknowledge and free will?
I don't really ever try to disprove somebody else's beliefs. I just try to convince them to think about convince them to think about it for themselves. So it's something, I mean, it's cool. I haven't heard of it because I haven't looked for it, because it's not something that I try to do with theists. I just try to get theists to open up their minds a little bit and think about their own beliefs. I'm not trying to deconvert them or anything or prove that they're wrong.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So
the second question was,
No, I don't know if did you want to explain it to? Okay, so let me just quickly say that if God is all knowing and all knowing includes the future, then God cannot be all powerful. So all knowing and all powerful contradict each other, because if God is all knowing, that limits its options in the future. So not only God is not all powerful, God will be would have zero power. So basically, a triomni God. No, a triomni God is a Hold on 1 second. A triomni God is a self-contradictory God, and that's why with the triomni God, we could actually make a positive claim that God doesn't exist. But yeah, so just wanted to tell people what this is all about.
I was just thinking that, like in the Avengers movie with Doctor Strange, when he looked at all the different paths to the future, wouldn't a God that knew everything know all the paths, so he would be able to take the what and still have that power?
No, because he also would know which path he would take, so that would limit him.
No, but yes, okay, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So, next. Just destroyed the God of Abraham right here in 5 seconds, guys. The God of Abraham just annihilated right on this show with a 5-second argument. But go.
Yeah, so I would argue that, that's true, Armin. I would argue that if God knows he creates Adam, he's forced to create Adam. And if he has free will, he's not forced to create Adam. So there's a sort of there's an a and not a in the argument there. So that's true. You know, a God with foreknowledge and free will is impossible. And also God can't give free will to humans if he has foreknowledge. So yeah, but we can explain that later. I mean, then my second question is morality objective under atheism because of empathy?
There's no claim that you can make under atheism. There's other than a lack of belief in God. There's like more. It makes no sense to say ask any questions and then say other than a belief or a lack of belief in God. Anything else that you ask and then say under atheism, it's an irrelevant question, because atheism has no position over morality. And right? This is different atheists have positions over morality. Atheism itself has no position over morality. Go on, Kelly.
I'm about to say that all morality systems are subjective anyway, unless everybody agrees to accept the same morality system, and then we can have an objective system. But the way we choose that system would still be subjective.
You could ask us if we believe in objective or subjective morality, not atheism. Right? You could ask us. That would be a more relevant question. Like, hey, Kelly, do you believe in objective or subjective morality? Not atheism, right? Mm-hmm. You know, that would be more.
Which I think I just answered.
Yeah, you did answer that. Okay.
Yeah. So
can I go back to the first question? Because reincarnation entertainment, I think you are trying to destroy Islam and Christianity and Abrahamic religion with these logical arguments. I just want to use this opportunity to share a realization that I have had for a while, that I don't think these logical arguments are going to do the trick. because the problem with a lot of us atheists is that we have left religion because we came to the conclusion that religious claims are not a good reflection of reality. And we wanted to, my dog is knocking. Should I bring my dog? I will bring my dog. 1 second.
Yeah.
All right. And we want our, because we want our beliefs to reflect reality, we think that other people also want, they choose their belief. We think the utility of belief is for it to be a reflection of reality. But that's an assumption that we make for other people because we're having that ourselves. But I realize that most people, she's wondering why I'm yelling. I'm not yelling at you. You're being a good girl. Don't worry. Okay? So, but most people, they choose their belief to serve a different utility, not to explain reality for them. Most people pick their belief for two different utilities. One, it's a membership card, and two, it's an identity card. So if we want to fight religious belief, beyond just providing rational arguments for why these beliefs do not reflect reality, we need to do two other jobs on top of that. We need to provide people with alternative identity cards and alternative membership cards. That's the key to fighting religion.
That's an interesting point, Armin. I know you sort of take that point. I just think that we should also do the tactic of trying to convert them to atheism as well as doing what you're saying. Do both.
Yes, yeah, I'm not saying do not make rational arguments. That's the whole point of the show. I'm just saying it's missing a huge. We're not. It's not complete. We need to fill in a gap.
Yes. Okay, and to the second question then, do you think that morality is objective in terms of, is it a fact that a murder is wrong, for instance?
Depends on what you mean by objective. When people say objective, they mean two different things, right? In my view, if by objective you mean that it's hard-coded within the fabric of the universe, then no, it's not objective, okay? It's human, right? So it's not there's nothing about in the universe that makes murder wrong, all right? But if by objective you mean that given the goals that we have, that goal being increasing well-being of humans, being more happy and having better lives, are there objectively better ways to achieve that? Then, because that's what most people mean by objective. Yes, there are objectively better ways at increasing well-being, and there are objectively worse ways. This is now a scientific question. So the goal, the fact that we want to be happy, that's just a given. That's just how it is. But given that goal, we could the question of what is the best way to get there, that is a scientific question now, and it has objective answers. Now she wants to go out. Okay. Yeah.
Well, yes. Well, I think that empathy certainly exists, and it forces me to do good things to an extent, unless I get too scared. And that's what the
No, do you understand what I said? Like, what depends on what you mean by objective. Do you understand that the answer is the way to be moral? The answer to that, if your goal is to maximize well-being, there is an objectively right answer to that and an objectively wrong answer to that. So when people are asking about objective, depends on which one of these questions they're asking. Are they saying that beyond, outside of the human understanding of the universe, does the universe itself has a position regarding morality? If that's what they mean about objective, then no, that's obviously false. That's insane, right? But if they mean within the human understanding, within the human perspective of the world, given that humans want to be happy, are there better ways of achieving that? If that's what they mean by objective, then yes, then morality is objective.
Right. Okay. I just think it's objective within humans. When humans were created, objective morality was formed in terms of it being a fact that say murder is wrong, or do you understand what I'm saying? Maybe I'm misunderstanding you.
Yeah, I think you should just play back like what I said, because so murder is not always, by the way, wrong. Sometimes murder is good. As a utilitarian, I'm not going to be saying murder is wrong all the time. It depends on the consequences. Okay.
Okay, and the third thing I want to ask, if I have time, is that about what happens after you die. Could it be that reincarnation or resurrection are possible? If the mind is an indestructible string of energy, or is it possible that we could get reincarnated or resurrected by scientists if the mind isn't destructible?
Is it why do you think the mind is indestructible energy in its current form? I mean, I know energy isn't destructible, but it does change forms, right?
Yes, it does.
So the electrical energy of our brain would be like transferred to the dirt and then be used by plants to grow.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, no, that is an interesting way of putting it.
That's exactly what happens. That's how the energy changes form. That's exactly what happens. The energy from our brain just doesn't go off into the ether and remain there. It gets transferred to another life form.
But are we sure? I don't know about this. Are we sure that energy can't be indestructible in the and maybe does it have to change when it comes to the energy?
What makes you is not the energy in your body. What makes you is the form that energy takes. Okay? So, for example, in the same way that the content of the book, if I take the ink from a book and just give you the ink that I used to write that book, and somehow just gather all get the paper and wash it and gather all the ink and just give it to you in a container, right? I don't have the content of that book anymore, because the ink did not create the story in that book. The way that the ink was formed next to each other, the pattern in that of the ink next to each other on that paper created the story on the book. So in the same way, what makes you, what we refer to as you, is not the energy, because if that's what makes you, then the lamp should also have an identity. The stove should also have life. So energy is not life. What we refer to as life is a specific arrangement of matter and energy. And if that arrangement is gone, then you're no longer there.
That was beautiful, Armin.
Oh, thank you.
That's very well explained. Thank you, Armin, and thank you, Kelly, as well. So I don't really know how to respond to that, other than to say, just ask again. Like, so okay, that's fair enough. I need to rewatch the video, I guess, to get that, because I was trying to form an alternative hypothesis or idea to there being non-existence. It's possible that scientists could resurrect us, or that we could be reincarnated somehow. But maybe I have to rethink that. So if you could figure out a way to reconstruct the way that your neurons are connected with each other and every other information that needs to be preserved, right? Then maybe you could recreate your whatever was you. But again, at that point, you don't. The whole idea of me is an illusion as well, because whatever I want to refer to as me is dying every single minute. So we don't. That's another discussion, whether or not when we refer to as resurrecting me, I'm not even sure if we could resurrect me. I'm not even sure if there is a me, right? I know that there is observing entity that is feeling and experiencing things, but there's nothing consistent there that could be consistently be referred to as me. So you might be trying to preserve something that doesn't even exist. But that's a different discussion. Okay, right. So what do you think happens after you die?
Many things. I'm just not there to see it anymore. What do you mean? Like, many things happens after I die, but it happens without me. It happens without me witnessing it. Like, so many things happen after you die.
What do you experience?
What do I experience? How could I experience things? I'm dead. That's the meaning of dying, when you stop experiencing things as, you know, as something with an identity that could refer to itself as me. When that thing ends up stop experiencing, that's death. So you're saying after the process of experiencing is stopped, what are you experiencing? Well, by definition, nothing.
Okay, but I hope it's not something bad. I hope we're not wrong, and it's not something bad that happens after we die, like nature's eternal hell. So we have to find a way of getting out of that, if that's possible. Do you see what I'm saying?
No, I have no idea what you're saying. Kelly seems to understand what you're saying. What did you say? Can you explain again?
Yeah, go ahead and do it again.
So could it be that there's nature's eternal hell after we die as a possibility, and there's no way of escaping it? So it's something bad.
For who? For me?
That's what I'm scared of.
For me that died?
I mean,
if I'm dead, I'm no longer there. How could there be a hell for something that is not there to experience things? Go on, Kelly.
I was about to say anything is possible, right? I mean, that's one of the concepts we believe in. But like Armin just pointed out, it kind of seems like a logical impossibility, what you're bringing up. So when you say, how do we, maybe it's possible. Well, yeah, sure. But what's the astronomical odds of that being possible? It's to the point of complete improbability and is never going to happen.
Actually, this one is not even possible, because even when religious people want to say that you experience something after death, they say that you come back to life. So they don't say that you experience something when you're dead. So the very definition of dead will make you not be able to experience things. So I don't know what this is a contradiction. So I don't know. I think we are already exercised this enough. So no, you're not gonna, it's impossible to experience things after you're dead, because for you to experience things, you first have to be able to experience them. Very simple. Okay?
Okay, guys. Well, I hope you're right, Armin. I always get scared of that, but it's something bad. But okay, sure. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks so much. You're both brilliant. Big fans of both of yours. So, talk to you later.